So let's now move forward to MySQL like operators. I promised last week that I'm going to move straight to like operators, MySQL. So we are going to look at how like is used. When we say like, I want to just compare it with um, Microsoft Excel. In Microsoft Excel, you have filter. If you go to filter, you go to the aspect of the advanced filter, you will see that they said, oh, filter based on anyone that starts with A, anyone that starts with O, any based on the alphabet. If it's number, they say, oh, anyone that is greater than, you can do that. So it's the same thing or the same concept in MySQL. So we're going to use the keyword like to filter. You can use it for filter, you can use it for searching. You want to search anyone that contains certain alphabet or that contains certain group of words like that. So you can use this like to do that. So it's used for database. I'm sure that is what search engine uses before the concept of or the advent of AI. So we're going to make use of the like right now. So the like operators, we're going to apply it on the previous database we have created, which is world. And then we have a table called continents. If you check it here right now, you see continents, there are countries, there are continents. So we have the one of continents. So we're going to use the table continent and apply our like operator or search operators on it. Okay, there are other patterns we are going to zero in on, or we're going to measure on. Okay, now we have this syntax. This is syntax. This one I've grouped them here, right? Select column. So if you are selecting column, you can target the column. You can say select all columns. It's just a comment, so I've commented it out. That's why it's showing this way. So I can say select all the columns from whatever name of the table, where column name or whatever column name you are targeting. You want to filter, you want to apply that like or filter on. So you put the column name there and like, then you put the pattern. So it's a pattern I'm going to teach you right now. I already assume that you understand select and you understand that keywords, that star symbols, and you also understand from whatever table where applying of where, which is conditional. Okay, but the like is what I'm going to focus on right now, and then the pattern. Now the first one is this. We have, let me just run the world. I've selected the world already. Okay, I've selected the world. Then let's look at, or let's take a view at the information in the database. So we're running. So we have seen that about 5 continents. Yeah, 5 continents here right now, and their population is specified side by side. Okay, now let's look at these continents. So we have a lot of continents that start with A, and then we have Europe, which is E. So we're going to just filter based on whatever they have. Okay, now let's move straight. So the first question said, let's move. The first question says find any value that starts with A. So we're going to learn how to do that. We want to filter only the word or the continent's name that starts with A. So let's move now. So this is it. So you will say select star. I want to just select the column. Select star from what? What is the name of the table? Continents. Where, take note of this, where where column name. Take note of the column name. So my column name is continent. I can just touch it here if you don't want to type it. So I can just touch it here if I don't want to type it. Continent column name. Okay. So where continent name, like. So take note of the word now, like. So I'll put quotes, open quote, close. Now inside it, I want to check everyone that starts with A. So A will come first, then you put the percentage sign. Take note of that percentage sign. So when the A or the number or the value or the alphabet comes before the percentage, it means that any word or any continent name that starts with A. You understand? Where like this, that, like that, So if you check my pattern here, you see like operator here. So you can put semicolon. You can handle semicolon now. Where continent name like A. So if you run it now, let's run it and see. So you're going to see that everyone that starts with A, every continent that starts with A is filtered out. Okay. Now let's move to the next one. So I want to find the values that ends with A. Take note of that ends with A. I think almost all of them will also go because all of them went to A. Okay. So this is how you do it. It's almost the same thing. So I'll just copy this one now. Can just copy this one. Sorry, I'm going to copy this. So I'll just show you just a slight variation from what we did previously just now. So you bring after this, before the percentage, you bring A. So it means that anyone that ends with A, understand? So anyone that ends with A, we also see it there. If you say E, because Europe ends with E, so I've put E there. You see it's only Europe that will come up there. Okay, see now. So but let me just focus on the question, which is A. Okay, so let's move to the next area now. Find any value that have US in any of the position. Now this one is no longer what that starts or the one that ends. So this one is anyone that contains. In Excel we say anyone that contains. Okay, so I'll copy and paste that same concept there, but I'll make some slight changes. So you put let me say US. So US. So this one means doesn't start or ends, but it contains. So I'll put it in between, so you can see it right now. So you have it like this. So if I run it right now, you see how it's gonna be. So Australia has US in it. It contains US. Okay, so that is it. Now I'll move to the next one now, which is find any value that have M in the second position. Now we are through with the percentage sign. So the percentage sign is it's just the basics. So we're going to add another pattern, which is going to be underscore. So you can add underscore, double underscore, triple underscore, like that. You can just test them on your own. Okay, so this one means find any value that have M in the second position. That means I'm going to do like this, the same thing, but this one means starting position, right? This is my starting position. So I'm going to put underscore here. If you put underscore or missing, that is dash, means something is missing there. Just like I am going to dash. That's, you have to fill in the blank missing space also in English, It's the same thing with this one now. So you have percentage. You have underscore, means something is missing. That means A, there's something that begins the word, and A is the second letter in that word, and it begins. A is the second position. So you can check it. So let's run it now. But in this case now, it's not A. So let's take M. Take one of the countries that, let's check if there's any country that whose letter start with M as the second position. Okay. So if I run it now, so American continent start with M. Yeah. So it means that if I say Europe, EUR. Okay, if I say the third word, so that means double underscore R. EUR. Yeah, Europe. So Europe will come up because Europe is the third word in this case now. You can see Europe, even Africa start with third word. Okay, so that is how to use underscore, but I'll use only underscore, one underscore. Just so let's be focused on the question. Okay, so M is there. Yeah. So let's move to the second to the last question right now. So find any value that starts with E and ends with E. You understand? I think Euro will come up in that case. But let me run everything back. Let me just run everything so you have a concept of what we have in the database. Okay. So if you run everything, you have everything we have in database. So let's move to the last one. It said that start with E and ends with E. So in this case now, this one means that start with A. So this one, the one we have to do now is start with E. This one means it start with E. If I also have something like this now, let me just take something like this and show you. So you have something like this. This one means that ends with A, right? Or let me put it E here. This one means that ends with E. This one means that starts with E. So in very way, if you did it, it's logical therefore to conclude, like if you have something like this, we are combining the two of them. E. It means if I don't put this one here, it means it ends with E. If I don't put this one, it ends with. If I don't put this one, it means it starts with E. That means combining these two statements, indirectly we are saying that it's logical to conclude that it starts with E and ends with E. It's written like this. Okay, so that is, let's run it now. See, I think Europe will be there. Yeah, Europe is there. Yeah, so it starts with E and ends with E. Therefore, let's move to the last question right now. The last question says, it states what? It said, find any value that starts with A and are at least 2 characters in length. Okay, so if you want to do that, you're going to write it like this. So it's almost the same thing. So, but it starts with A. That is first of all. Then if I put underscore like this, it means there's another word there. You understand, that's missing. But at least everyone that's, in that case now, there are 2 characters at least. So everyone that will be covered. So let me just, it's gonna be about 3 continents, 4 continents. That will be, yeah. So that ends with it. So this is how to do it. At least 2 characters. If I say at least 3 characters, I think all of them will still come up. All of them will still come up. Asia is coming up. If I say this one means there are 3 underscore here right now included. Plus this one making 4. So the other one on 4, I think all of them will still come up. Yeah, if I say underscore again, making 5 characters, I thought Asia will be off. You understand? Asia is already off. So if I say 6 characters, I think all of them will still be there, I'm sure. Yes, 7 characters. So you can use anyone. You can just combine anyone. So you can see now Africa is gone now. So you can just, it's not in any textbook like this, but I just think it logical, like, okay, if there could be 1 underscore, 2 underscore, 3 underscore, that means you could have multiple underscores. Okay, so that is how to use like operators, including the use of the wildcard. This wildcard, like those patterns like percentage and underscore. So these are the patterns. Okay, so I believe that with this explanation I've been able to make, it's been simplified. A lot of people talk to me that, oh, like, it looks complex because you don't understand the meaning of those symbols. I mean, but I've broken it down. It's logical right now. It's sensible. I mean, it makes sense to common sense. Okay, so we are going to stop here today, and we shall look at other advanced concepts in the next class. So do have a wonderful day. Let me know your comments, how the video has helped you, and do subscribe. Please share. Just support my channel as much as you can, and it's going to be a great contribution to me. Thank you.